Picture this. It's about a week, maybe 10 days before Christmas, and you've got that cup of coffee in your hand, or maybe tea if you're easing into the morning, and you're starting to think about how the rest of the year is going to unfold. You're planning the holidays. Are you traveling? Are you staying home? Are you hosting friends and family? Or are you showing up with a dish? Because let's be honest, a good potluck Christmas still hits, especially with the economy doing what it's doing. And somewhere in all of that planning, there's reflection. You're thinking about the year you just lived, 2025, the wins, the lessons, the moments that stretched you. And now you're standing right at the doorway of these upcoming holidays. For many of us, Christmas is about celebrating Jesus and the meaning behind the season. Then comes Kwanzaa, celebrating community, culture, and purpose from the 26th through the start of the new year. And then, of course, there's New Year's, that moment when we pause, breathe, and start imagining what's next. This episode is about that in-between space, that quiet moment where you're not rushing yet, but you're already dreaming bigger, dreaming clearer, dreaming about a future that God and I can craft together intentionally, creatively, and without apology. So, if you've found yourself reflecting, if you've caught yourself imagining what life could look like with more ease, more joy, and more alignment, you're in the right place. I'm Val the Voice Johnson, and this is the Interludes podcast. The Interludes podcast,
a Pure Lighthouse production.
This episode is brought to you by PureLighthouseMedia.com, home to the book, A DJ Saved My Life, where the ABCs of podcasting and the personal memoir come together perfectly. If you want to start your podcast journey, schedule a 15-minute call with me, research our podcasting blog tips. It's all on our fully remodeled website today.
And now, all the way from the south side of Chicago, give it up for your host, Val the Voice Johnson.
I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and music was always a big part of our household. My mom, especially my dad, had a deep appreciation for musicians from all over the world. And when it came to Christmas, we didn't just hear one version of a song, we heard everybody's version. Jazz, soul, traditional, gospel. One album that always stands out to me is from fellow Chicagoan Ramsey Lewis. In 1960-61, the Ramsey Lewis Trio released The Sound of Christmas. Even after my parents split, my mother would play that album almost every holiday season. Recently, I found parts of it again, digitally remastered on YouTube and Apple Music. And while I'll appreciate the convenience, there's nothing like holding a physical record, putting it on the turntable, hearing the crackle of the needle just before the first song on side A begins. That sound, that's Christmas to me. I hope each of you listening has a holiday soundtrack, something that instantly puts you in the spirit of the season. Last year, I was putting up my tree and I played The Sound of Christmas. When I finished, I stepped back to look at the tree. I got a little emotional. I realized I was listening to the music that both my mom and dad deeply loved. I pulled the album close. I hugged it, almost like I was hugging my mom. And I said out loud, "Hey, Mom, the tree is up." And in my spirit, I heard her whisper back, "Yeah, baby, it looks good." I miss both my parents. The last Christmas I spent with my mother was in 2018. I was living in New York at the time, picking up freelance work so I could come back to Chicago and work from this very dining room table I now record all of my podcasts. And my mom, being a mom, would fuss. She'd say, "Now look, you need to be making some money. Why ain't you back there in New York making money? What you doing here?" And I told her, "I honestly don't know how many more Christmases I'll have with you, so I'm going to be here." So from December 23rd or 24th through just after the new year, I made sure I was home. My mother rarely traveled in the winter. It had to be something major. Spring, summer, she'd come to New York. But fall, winter, yeah, that was my responsibility. That was my choice. Music held all of that. And some of my favorite Christmas music, just to name a few, let me give you a little bit of a list. Now, there's nothing like Donny Hathaway's This Christmas. It's been remade a bunch of times. But the original always reminds you of Christmas. The Temptations, Silent Night. I think that's Melvin with the bass tone, I think. Johnny Gill, Give Love on Christmas Day. That was the best Christmas compilation Motown album ever. Mariah Carey's Christmas album, the first one that came out in '94, which gave us All I Want for Christmas Is You. Big single, big hit. Yep, the whole album. And Brian McKnight's Christmas Project with Boyz II Men on that single, Let It Snow. I rarely bought full Christmas albums back in the day, but those, I loved every track. Music has a way of holding a memory, holding some grief, holding joy. And during the holidays, it becomes more than background noise. It becomes a bridge. So I'll ask you this. What is your holiday soundtrack? Whether it's something recent or something from way back into time. I'd love for you to think about it over this holiday season and let the music do what it does best. Bring back great memories. Now listen, when it comes to movies, I am that person. I wear my chair critic badge proudly. Movies are more than entertainment to me. They're culture. They're a conversation. They're a soundtrack to where we are in the moment of our lives. And speaking of movies, Coach Tony and I just dropped our favorites, our top 5 films that we loved of 2025 on Interludes Extra Presents Talk on Tuesday, our weekly entertainment show. So before I get into some of the holiday film talk, let's revisit those lists. I'll start with Coach Tony. Here's his top 5 films of 2025. Number 5, Brad Pitt and Damon Idris in F1. Number 4, Captain America Brave New World with Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford. Number 3, Sinners, Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld. Number 2, Den of Thieves 2, Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr. Yep, that's Ice Cube's boy. And number 1, Mission Impossible, The Reckoning. Yep, that's all Tom Cruise. But Tony always reminds us the franchise began in the 60s, but Tom Cruise made it a movie thing in the 90s. All right, now time for my top 5 films of 2025. I'll give it to you in order. Number 5, I'll start with Tom Cruise's movie, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. I got so much respect for how much Cruise went through to get that film done. Number 4 was a tie between the documentary Being Eddie on Netflix and, well, I always wanted a woman president. And in G20, Viola Davis, Anthony Anderson, The First Family. That would have been nice for real. Number 3, Wicked for Good. Yes, I waited a full year after part 1. And let me tell you, that year-long intermission was worth it. Number 2, Superman. Now, not perfect, but bold and respectful to the 1977 classic. And number 1, Sinners. Come on, Ryan. Original storytelling, bold direction, and so refreshing in a landscape full of remakes and sequels. Thank you for that, Ryan. Now, let's talk holiday movies, especially the ones that are filling my screens and my spirit this season. I think I'm only going to stick with one. I know there's more, so many more. But the one that really stood out to me is Christmas Every Day on Lifetime, starring Brandy and her daughter, Soraya, along with Christopher Riley, Debbie Morgan, and LaRon Rucker. This ensemble cast is absolutely beautiful, and I found myself watching this film twice, just soaking in the warmth and joy of the season. And I gotta say this, seeing Brandy in this has been phenomenal. There's something about the proud mama energy, watching her share the screen with her daughter, and, being her sister in the movie, and still looking youthful and radiant. It just feels right for the season. It's like Christmas and family and legacy all wrapped into one. Now let's pivot into the award season prep for myself, because yes, I'm already thinking about the Golden Globes on January 11th. And yes, I have a list of films I need to see before then. Now here are a list of movies I'm planning to watch before January and before the Golden Globes. Now here we go. Number 1, One Battle After the Other. I've been thinking about seeing this film for a minute. Now this is starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Regina Hall, Benicio del Toro, Wood Harris, and Golden Globe nominee Tiana Taylor. This cast alone makes the film impossible to ignore. And add the nominations and the buzz, and this one immediately jumped to the top of my list. Frankenstein, number 2. Now that's on Netflix. I'm always curious how classic stories are reimagined. And with this film earning nominations, I want to see how Netflix approached such a timeless narrative. Number 3, Jay Kelly. That's another Netflix one. Now that's got George Clooney and Adam Sandler. These two are some of my favorite actors to simply walk through a film. And let me say this, George Clooney does not release movies too often. So when he does, my ears perk up, my eyes lock in, and I want to know exactly what he's talking about. Number 4, Die, My Love. That title alone is interesting. That's Jennifer Lawrence, Robert Pattinson, Lakeith Stanfield, Nick Nolte, and Sissy Spacek. This one is a psychological drama. And just from the previews, I already know I'm going to have to gird myself emotionally before pressing play. Number 5, It Was Just an Accident. A French film, multiple nominations, including Best Picture in a non-English language. Y'all already know I love international cinema, especially films coming out of France, subtitles and all. Now listen, you might think I'm a bit extra with these picks, but that's the fun of movie watching. You never know what story is going to shift you or make you feel something you didn't expect. Holiday movies, seasonal classics, award contenders. They all speak to us in different ways. And during the holidays especially, there's something so grounding about sitting with a film that just feels like home or makes your heart swell, or a little bit of both. So yes, keep those movie nights going, keep those films rolling, and let me know what's hitting for you this season.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey y'all, this is Val the Voice, and you know what? My morning routine will never be the same. I recently joined an amazing online entrepreneur community that has truly changed my life. Every morning from 8 to 9 a.m. Eastern, I connect with hundreds of entrepreneurs in the morning meetup for live coaching, accountability, mentorship, and more. The coaching and accountability are fantastic, but my favorite part is the book club. I'm reading more now than ever. The content is inspiring, and the monthly themes guide the coaching and exclusive members-only content. If this sounds like something for you and you're ready to take your entrepreneurial journey to the next level, trust me, it's been a game changer for my business, and I think you'll love it for yours. Use the link in the description to find out more about the Morning Meetup membership, which is now at a mere $19 a month. I'd love to see you there. Let's grow our businesses and podcasts together. And now, back to the show. Earlier this week, I had a vision. I was on a private jet. The destination, unknown. But the day was beautiful, bright, clear. As I looked out the window, all I could see were endless clouds, smooth skies at about 30,000 feet. The ride was calm, peaceful, unrushed. There was a friendly pilot, a relaxed service staff, and the shared sense that everyone on board was vibing. No tension, no friction. And the jet was equipped with a surround sound system that just worked. The kind of music that fills the space without overpowering it. And I started thinking, what music would I play? Not in headphones, not isolating, but something that sets the tone for the entire journey. And for me, it would be neo-soul instrumentals and familiar voices I love. Maxwell, Jill Scott, D'Angelo, Erykah Badu, Music Soul Child, India Arie. Music that's smooth, centering, and intentional. The kind of music that lets you arrive wherever you're going, zen, focused, and ready. And as entrepreneurs, that's how we have to think sometimes, at 30,000 feet, above the noise, above the distractions, so we can stay aligned with where we're going, not just what's immediately in front of us. That vision reignited something in me. It reminded me that contentment doesn't mean small dreams. It means being clear about the vibe you want in your life and in your work to hold. Music has always been a tool for me, not just creatively, but emotionally and spiritually. It grounds me. It helps move me through life with intention. And right now, grounding matters. Because in real life, we're about a week out from Christmas. And for me, that means I still need to put the tree up, put the lights in the window, and let the season in, not push it away. Yes, the holidays come with memory. And yes, they come with grief. It's not just my parents I miss. It's aunts, it's uncles, it's cousins. It's loved ones who aren't here anymore. That's real. But I also know this. Rest is allowed, joy is allowed, and vision is allowed. All can coexist. The vision of flying higher, the work of podcasting and building platforms, the joy of helping others find their voice, and the quiet moments of honoring the season exactly as it is. As I look ahead to 2026, I realize that this is something that I always do. I started thinking about the new year a couple of months early. This year was no different. I found myself reflecting back as early as November, taking inventory, asking questions, and giving myself permission to imagine what's next. More than anything, I want to give breath and life to the visions God has placed on my heart for 2026. And here's something I have to remind myself of, and maybe you do too. What God has for me is for me. That means I have to check jealousy at the door, check envy at the door, check discontentment at the door, because I truly believe when the time is right, God will allow me to walk through the doors meant for me. My job is to clearly define the vision. The private jet, that's just one element of the dream. I had to pause and ask myself, why that vision? I've always been fine flying commercial. Well, flying commercial first class, maybe. But with everything changing, few amenities, more stress, I realize that what I'm really desiring is ease, peace, a regal experience that allows me to arrive rested, focused, and ready. And that's bigger than travel. That's about how I want to move through life. So I want to encourage you, my Interludes family, to dream without apology, to give breath and life to the vision you have for yourself. Yes, yourself. Not comparison, not performance, just alignment. And it's okay to pause, especially before the new year begins. Take an afternoon, grab a pen and paper, write it out. Some people do vision boards. Some host vision board parties. Some do it quietly at a kitchen table. Whatever helps you get in tune with yourself and in tune with God. Do that. And if you feel led, I'd love for you to share some of those dreams with us. Drop them in the comments, start the conversation, and let's build 2026 together. I'm Val the Voice Johnson, and this is the Interludes Podcast. Want more behind-the-scenes moments, the Purple Robe Diaries, and our after-show talks with Coach Tony? Join the Interludes community on patreon.com/interludes. It's free to sign up, or you can upgrade to get podcasting tips and exclusive early releases. Tap in today. The Interludes Podcast.
Original concept by Valerie Johnson.
Sports segments for Talk on Tuesdays, produced by Coach Tony Thompson.
Original intro and outro music produced by Kendall Nesbitt.
The Interludes Podcast, a Pure Lighthouse production. This episode is brought to you by our brand new website, PureLighthouseMedia.com, the official home of A DJ Saved My Life, where the ABCs of podcasting meet personal transformation. And now available in print. Order your signed copy today and discover how finding your voice can change your life. Are you a business or entrepreneur looking to promote your work through a dynamic podcasting platform? Partner with us through sponsorship and marketing opportunities. Your message belongs in front of our audience. Got that $1 million podcast idea, but don't know where to start? Whether you need a coach, a guide, or a full-on producer, I'm here to walk you through the process and bring your podcast vision to life. Visit PureLighthouseMedia.com today to get your book, book your consultation, or connect with us about sponsorship. Let's grow together.